Now, the cold cases. It's been 41 years since a 19-year-old Portsmouth woman's body was discovered on a Newport beach.
Diane Drake was a sophomore at then Roger Williams College studying criminal justice. Police have never found her killer.
But her family is determined to keep her memory alive, even decades after her death.
I've spent like the last 40 years of my life, because of the circumstances, trying not to think about her. So today I just wanted to spend the whole day thinking about her.
Every March 22nd, Bob Drake and his family stand vigil at Easton's Beach in Newport.
Just a tribute to her, you know, just so that she's not forgotten.
It's been 41 years since Diane Drake's body was discovered here. Her family says she was bookish, well-liked, a peacemaker, and a family of 9 kids.
She's a very selfless, kind, gentle person.
The 19-year-old was heading to work at a photo mat on East Main Road in Middletown, possibly hitchhiking on the cold, rainy March afternoon, when she vanished. A day later, the tragic news.
A white female between the ages of 18 and 20 was found dead on the city beach about 10 this morning.
Newport police are having an especially difficult time with this case because they don't have a scene of the crime and the evidence that sometimes provides.
We are looking for anyone who may have seen Diane walking in the area of Quidnick Avenue, Valley Road area.
But despite leads and suspects, the case went cold.
You have to keep the story in the forefront, and the story didn't stay in the forefront.
I've always loved Newport. It's a beautiful place.
The family says they believe the notorious Klaus von Bülow case distracted from the investigation. But Diane's family is hopeful someone, someday, can give them the answers they've been so desperately seeking.
It would be everything. It really would. It's been so long, and it's been such a long and heartbreaking journey for all of us, so it would really mean the world.
My sister Diane was a beautiful person, and she would have been the first person to come to me and ask me to forgive those people. That's what kind of person she was, and that's what kind of person they took from us.
Newport police declined an interview for this story, but they said the investigation into Diane Drake's death remains open. Anyone with information is urged to contact Newport detectives. For more information on this and other cold cases, or to tell us about one that you think we should cover, head to WPRI.com. But first, the cold cases. It was Thanksgiving, 1984, when the owner of a popular Providence bar went missing. Some say he was abducted.
His friends and patrons called him Tilly King, but his real name was John Gomes. I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Kim Kalunian. To this day, it's unclear who killed him or why, but investigators believe his connections to organized crime may have cost him his life. John Gomes was a fixture in Providence.
He was an icon over there. And the bar was, everybody knew Tilly King's.
Tilly King's, the Eddy Street bar bearing Gomes's nickname.
The club was iconic. It was you know, for people of color, that's where you wanted to be on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. You wanted to be at Tilly King's.
So when Gomes failed to show up at the bar before Thanksgiving of 1984, his family reported him missing.
We believe that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, when he went missing, it was due to some arrangement that he had with somebody, you know, within the mob, the local mob.
Witnesses at the time told police they had seen Gomes get into a car with 2 men. It wasn't until 5 months later that his body was found more than 20 miles away off 195 in Westport, Massachusetts. He had been shot once in the back of the head. The DA's office says Gomes's body was discovered about 85 feet off the highway, spotted by an Acushnet man who was driving by. Investigators say it appeared Gomes's body had been there for months.
He hung out with the wrong people. That's the outcome. We had suspects. We still do.
Bristol County District Attorney Thomas Quinn says one of those suspects is the late Kevin Hanrahan, a notorious mob enforcer, career criminal, and associate of the Patriarcha crime family.
The conduct would not be inconsistent with what he's done in the past. So we have information that he's linked to it, and we're going to review the case.
But I'm sure there's, you know, people out there that they know. They could say, yeah, I know who did this.
Gomes' daughter, Toni, was 24 at the time. Her half-sister, Katie, never met her dad. Katie was conceived just weeks before he disappeared and adopted at birth. She learned Gomes was her biological father through DNA testing in 2016.
It was shocking. And it was also a lot of sadness, too, that I never got the chance to meet him. I always think that, like, had I been alive or had I known of them sooner in my life, that I probably would have wanted to, like, help them figure things out.
I think somebody should be, you know, be held responsible. Absolutely. No matter what the circumstances were, no matter what he was involved with.
We need someone to come forward that knows what happened. Hopefully, you know, someday somebody can resolve this.
If you have any information about the murder of John Gomes, you are urged to contact Providence Police or the Bristol County District Attorney's Office. And for more information about this and other cold cases, or to tell us about a case that you think we should cover, head to our website, WPRI.com. First at 5:30, a decades-old mystery. A Cranston wife and mother strangled inside of her own home. Good evening. I'm Kim Kalunian.
I'm Mike Montecalvo. Detectives believe they have the evidence to crack the 34-year-old case.
And tonight we're hearing from the victim's husband for the first time in years in hopes that you can help answer the question, who killed Donna Fischer? 78 Prospect Street in Cranston, December 5th, 1986. 38-year-old Donna Fischer was found unconscious in her bedroom after failing to show for a shopping trip with her neighbor. The wife and mother was rushed to the hospital but was taken off of life support just 3 days later. It was her 39th birthday.
She turned out being my best friend, not just my wife. We fished together. We did everything together.
Bill Fischer was Donna's husband. He'd left for work that morning around 7, and by 9, Donna and her neighbor made plans to go out. But less than 45 minutes later, Donna's neighbor found her unresponsive in her bedroom. Police initially believed she had a medical emergency, but an autopsy revealed she was strangled.
I became #1 suspect because I was the last one to see her.
What was it like being a suspect in your own wife's murder?
Tough when you know you didn't do something.
Detectives at the time said nothing was amiss inside the home, aside from 2 phones being pulled off the wall.
There was no forced entry or no indication of any forced entry. Inside the home, there was no indication of any struggle.
Investigators believe Donna knew the person who ended her life.
Somebody out there knows something. How they can live with themselves is beyond me.
Donna's only child, Bobby, was 18 at the time.
You don't know where to turn or what to do or what to think. It's literally the worst possible thing happened.
Donna needs justice.
Cranston Police Detective Robert Santagata says both Bill and Bobby have been cleared in Donna's death. Santagata is confident the case will be solved, but will not disclose whether there is DNA evidence that could help reveal the killer, someone he believes is walking free.
How you can wake up every day knowing that you know something about this and go on and live your life like nothing happened is, to me, astonishing. But, you know, that's the choice they make, and, you know, I'm still out here and I'm going to find them.
If you have any information about the murder of Donna Fischer, you are urged to contact the Cranston Police Department. For more information on this and other cold cases, you can head to our website, WPRI.com.
Now, the cold case cards. Back in 2018, detectives created a deck of playing cards in an effort to generate new leads in some of Rhode Island's toughest cases. And we've been diving into those unsolved crimes ever since.
Tonight, a young man's body was found burning in a Cranston cemetery back in 2013. And now, for the very first time, his family is speaking out about the brutal crime. He was Shad, Gande, Kadia, the 2 of spades. Tributes to Shad, Gande, Kadia still greet visitors to the Pecasset Cemetery in Cranston 8 years after the young father's body was found burning there. It was just before 11 o'clock the night of March 20th, 2013.
Just talking about it, I could still cry. There's multiple times I think, and then I just start to tear up.
Cornelius Claw is Kadia's younger brother.
Growing up, I always wanted to aspire to be like him.
Reports from the time say Kadia was strangled. Police believe he was killed elsewhere and brought to the cemetery. Police say he was affiliated with gangs, but his family disputes that.
I just want them to know that he was gentle, he was loving, he was caring, he was kind.
Kadia's family says he was smart and creative. The 22-year-old was making a name for himself in the local rap scene. His sister Julie was living in Pennsylvania and remembers hearing the news first on social media. She rushed to be with her mother.
And I just seen like my mom crying, like that was like the first time I seen her crying, and so I just knew that he had probably passed away, but I still didn't know how, and I just still didn't think it was real.
Cranston Police Major Todd Padalano says detectives combed through surveillance footage and visited multiple locations to try and track down evidence.
We've interviewed several people, persons of interest, but at this time there are no suspects.
Kadia's mother died last year. The mystery of who killed her son, unresolved.
They killed my mom and my brother. Like, if that hadn't happened, we would have been fine. Like, every day when I go in her room or I go check on her, she's just like looking at his pictures. Like, she let it consume her.
My family is hurting. To help our hearts or just do something, because like it's really painful.
Cranston police say they are still working diligently on this case. If you have any information, you are urged to contact them or call 1-877-RI-SOLVE. For more on this and other cold cases, you can head to our website, WPRI.com.
Now the cold case cards. Back in 2018, detectives created a deck of playing cards in an effort to generate new leads in some of Rhode Island's toughest cases. And we've been diving into those unsolved crimes ever since.
Tonight, we're going beyond the deck to Warwick in 2008.
I just want somebody that maybe was there to say something, come forward, you know, just let us know what happened.
23-year-old Michael Russo was struck and killed by a car, but the driver never stopped and has never been identified. Russo's family and police believe someone out there knows the truth about that night and is hoping nearly 13 years later, someone will finally come forward.
We did everything together. We were like side by side. You know, he was my best friend.
Tammy Russo Dempsey will not give up her quest for the truth about her baby brother's death.
I just felt like the life was sucked out of me. Just kind of like collapsed. I didn't know what to do. It was all like just a fog.
It was the early morning hours of August 2nd, 2008, when 23-year-old Michael Russo walked out of his girlfriend's Warwick home after a night of partying devolved into an argument.
The police department was called to 1084 Tollgate Road for a gentleman who had been struck by a vehicle in the roadway and was lying unconscious.
Warwick Police Captain Ryan Sornberger says no one saw the crash. He worked the case at the time and says detectives chased down numerous tips and checked surveillance cameras at local businesses, but they came up empty. As we sit here today, do you have any idea what kind of vehicle might have struck and killed Michael Russo?
No, we do not.
Close to 13 years later, the lack of answers is like an open wound for the Russo family.
I can't even go down that road anymore because it's hard to go by where the accident happened.
Russo's parents, Linda and Michael, remember getting the middle of the night call that their son had been struck.
I knew. I got in the car. I kind of knew. I don't know if it's like a mother's intuition or not, but I knew that I just knew he was gone. I don't know. And getting to the hospital was just a horror scene.
I stayed with him in the room there for a couple hours. Just like that. It's going. It's just devastating. Everything just gets sucked out of you. He was my baby.
Dornberger says investigators have no reason to believe Russo was intentionally struck, but he has no doubt that whoever hit him knows what they did.
I find it hard to believe that since all the time that's gone by, that the person driving that vehicle, whoever it may be, hasn't told anybody or confided in somebody or leaked it out somewhere. If you take that secret with you, it's quite the secret to keep this long.
Come forward. To ease your conscience, come forward and maybe just let us have peace of mind.
Police believe the car involved in Michael Russo's death would likely have had front-end damage on the passenger side. If you have any information, you're urged to contact Warwick Police. For more information on this and other cold cases, visit WPRI.com. It is cold and dark here now at Lincoln Woods, but on the morning of August 10th, 2011, the sun was shining, illuminating a strange sight, a car sitting for hours with its windshield wipers on. Inside, the body of 25-year-old Ronnie Almonte, the 3 of diamonds.
A day like that is a reminder that while a lot of us are enjoying a summer, it can be a really horrible day to some family.
August 10th, 2011, a day marked by violence.
We have a report of someone hearing gunshots.
We spoke with then Colonel of the Rhode Island State Police, Stephen O'Donnell, at Lincoln Woods, just hours after a park ranger there called the nearby barracks to report this car seemingly abandoned near the entrance.
There was blood on the bumper, the back bumper. So out of abundance of caution, not knowing if someone was injured and it was life-threatening, we opened the trunk and we found a deceased male that had been executed.
That man was 25-year-old Ronnie Almonte.
Never in my life I would have think that anything would happen to him.
Almonte's sisters and mother in New York say his death shattered their worlds. He was the youngest of 5, but also their protector, affectionate and selfless.
Yeah, all I can think of is how, why? Why would anybody do anything to him?
Almonte's family believes he was targeted, killed over missing drug money. His mother and sisters tell me he had no involvement in criminal activity. Instead, they believe an acquaintance blamed him for the stolen cash and put a target on his back.
He did have friends and associates that may have been known to law enforcement, and that it is believed that those persons could have contributed to his death.
State Police Detective Robert Hopkins would not say if there's DNA evidence to be tested or if the murder weapon was ever found, but he says the Major Crimes Unit is still actively investigating.
This is one that we would like to, we'd like someone to come forward and provide us with information, but if not, then we'll use what we have to ultimately put it together.
My heart goes to the people who did these homicides too. They're facing probably years of suffering, even if they never get caught.
Nearly 10 years later, they haven't been caught. Almonte's mother wears her son's photo on a pendant around her neck, hoping whoever knows the truth about his death finds it in their heart to come forward.
She just want justice. She wants them to be able to find them and make them pay for what they did.
Do you know who killed Ronnie Almonte? Call 1-877-RI-SOLVE. For more information on this and other cold cases, head to our website, WPRI.com. In Lincoln, I'm Kim Kalunian, 12 News.
We begin tonight at 5:30 with the cold case cards. Back in 2018, detectives created a deck of playing cards in an effort to generate new leads in some of Rhode Island's toughest cases, and we've been diving into those cases ever since. Tonight, we're going beyond the deck and back 41 years to a shocking murder just over the Rhode Island border in Massachusetts that left 4 children without their mother. 12 News reporter Kim Kalunian joins us now from Seekonk with the story.
It was August 20th, 1979, when police made a grisly discovery behind the front desk of a Seekonk motel. Now, more than 4 decades later, the mystery surrounding the brutal murder of 35-year-old Margaret Pizio lingers on.
So it's really always been a question of who would have wanted to do this to her.
Beth Pizio says her mother's death haunted her childhood.
And you learn very rapidly that the world is not as nice and sheltered as you had previously thought it was.
Life changed forever the morning of August 20th, 1979. Beth's grandfather was watching her and her 3 siblings waiting for their mother Margaret to return from her overnight job at the Swiss Chalet Motor Inn on Route 6 in Seekonk. The family was on edge when Margaret was late getting back to their Riverside home.
And there was this rising tension in the house. Like, he was worried. He wasn't really talking about it, but he was really worried.
35-year-old Margaret Pizio's body was discovered around 8 a.m. behind the front desk of the motel, brutally beaten and stabbed. A Boston Globe report from the following day said $900 was missing from the register, but detectives did not believe that robbery was the sole motive.
And I just can't imagine who would have been that angry at my mom. You know, there's a real element of fear about it for me because of the way I grew up with this shadow over my childhood, knowing that there was a person out there who had done this.
Bristol County District Attorney Thomas Quinn wants to give families like Pizio's the answers they've been seeking, putting new energy into solving violent crimes dating back to the 1970s.
We haven't forgotten about them. We care about the lives that were lost, all the potential and the grief and turmoil that it's caused the family.
Beth remembers napping on her mom's lap at church and the elaborate birthday cakes she'd make, but recalls her mom didn't have much time for a social life outside of her multiple jobs, working hard to stay afloat as a recently divorced mom of 4. Before her death, Margaret Pizio was set to testify about a prior robbery of the motel, but police at the time ruled out a possible connection between that and her murder.
They reviewed the evidence, looked into different individuals, but in the end, no one has been charged. So this is a case, as we go back, we feel is warranted in taking a second look at.
The Globe said Margaret did not sound the motel's silent alarm the morning she was killed, as she had during those previous robberies, and likely unlocked the front door for whoever ended her life.
It just makes no sense to me. It's not even necessarily about justice to me as much as it is learning why.
DA Quinn would not comment on whether there's any DNA evidence to be tested in this case, instead appealing to anyone who might know something to find it in their conscience to come forward. For more information on this and other cold cases, visit our website, WPRI.com. In Seekonk, I'm Kim Kalunian, 12 News.